Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat. Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtaki. Om Agnati Mirandasya Gnanandana Shalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Asadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay. We continuing from Canto 1, Chapter 10, verse 27. Aho batasvar yashasas tiraskari kushasthali punya yasaskari bhuvaha Pashyanti nityam yadanugraheshitam Smitavadokam swapatim smayat prajaha. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So this is the fortune of the residents of Dwarka. So among the residents of Dwarka, there were two kinds of entities. One were Swarga Vasis, demigods who appeared to assist Krishna in his pastimes, and the other were eternal associates from Dwarka in the spiritual world. So all of them, they were very fortunate because they were chosen for this seva, especially the demigods, and they were able to see Krishna, who is the soul of all living beings, all the time. And all the time in his loving feature. So this is the beauty about Krishna, specifically Swayam Krishna, is that he's always loving and showing his love to his devotees. And always Krishna deals with all living entities in a very graceful, loving manner. Previously, when Arjuna Ashwatthama episode we were discussing, and or it's going to come in the okay. So we'll see that Arjuna was very angry at Ashwatthama when he bound him. Oh, I know it's done. When he bound him, right? But Krishna was also angry, but his eyes are described as lotus. His anger is still beautiful, and of course he doesn't become. There's nothing like material anger for him, so it's all spiritual. So everything about Krishna is beautiful, right? Madhuradipate Rakilam Madhuram. And Krishna glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So this is one of the. So yesterday I was doing some class somewhere, and I was asking devotees, saying that what of Krishna, what attracts them, what aspect of Krishna attracts them. So any of you want to share what aspects of Krishna attracts you?
Is when he goes to herd the cows, that along with other gopis, that form attracts.
Along with other gopas, you mean?
Gopas, yeah.
Okay.
Other cows, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So, okay. What about others? What aspect of Krishna attracts you?
His pastimes during childhood.
Okay, his pastimes during childhood. Okay, so this is so yesterday when I asked, it was very interesting. All the Prabhus talked about mostly in that group strength, power, like that, like his Aishwarya, his opulences, which are more connected with this material world. And most of the Matajis who were there were talking about Krishna's beauty, uh, Krishna's various aspects of how he personally conducts himself with devotees. And then I was telling them, saying that, yeah, we have to move from this Aishwarya to this Madhurya. So that is our goal, that we have to goal as in that is a natural progression, because when we become devotee of Krishna, we are not so much enamored by his power, because we know, yeah, he is Sarva Karana Karana, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So yeah, he has all the strength. Now, initially, when we are new to Krishna consciousness, we might be enamored by power of Krishna, how everything is under his control, and so on and so forth. But as we start hearing more about Krishna, about how he deals with his devotees, his love the devotees show towards Krishna, etc., etc., then slowly we will be attracted towards Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, Krishna's Vrindavan features, Krishna's Vrindavan devotees. So, and it is, yeah, smile of Krishna is, whenever anybody is distressed, they have to just simply look at or bring to mind the form of Krishna, beautiful smiling face of Krishna. And then all distress is gone. And Krishna always does this. When devotees come to see Krishna, wherever he is, he glances at each of them, each of them. And we don't have to be worried saying that, oh, there's only one Krishna in Goloka and there are so many billions of gopis and gopas, and how will I be able to reciprocate with Krishna? Krishna will reciprocate individually with each of us. That's his uh, potence, omnipotence, right? He can do anything. Like uh, he expanded himself into 16,000 farms to marry 16,000 girls. So Krishna will do that, and he'll personally, uh, you know, he'll be with each of us in the spiritual world. So, and yeah, his sweet smile is actually the most enticing. If at all we are, for whatever reason, if we are attracted by anything of this material world, if you want to get over that, you just have to see the beautiful smile of Krishna. Then all material attractions will get killed. So Krishna is so wonderful. नूनं व्रतस्नानहुतादिनेश्वर समर्चितोह्यस्य गृहीतपाणिभिः पिबन्ति याः सख्यद अधरामृतं मुहुर्व्रतस्त्रियः सम्मुमुहुर्यदाशयाः. Oh friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. So the ladies of Hastinapura are glorifying Krishna and saying, look at all those Dwaraka queens whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe to constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Rajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. Okay, so this is very deep purport. So it's difficult for many devotees to understand this. When we hear these things like, his kissing and all this, we can't understand, because we suddenly think about material life and material relations, material love, or really not material love, material lust. But everything about Krishna is transcendental. So when we hear these things, very intimate, these are, that even such things are mentioned in Bhagavatam is like sometimes surprises. Yeah, right, because it's so closely, connected and can only be understood by devotees only in Madhurya Rasa. Actually, even other devotees cannot understand this. One they can understand, right? That the queens, okay, their queens are his wives, And so yeah, this is conjugal love, so they can, that's okay. But still, when it is mentioned with respect to the Supreme Lord, so like, why is this mentioned in Bhagavatam? Hmm. And then there is also it saying damsels of Rajabhumi would often faint by just expecting such favors. This we will possibly not go into right now. We will wait for the 10th canto to discuss this topic because it's just too exalted. Uh, but yeah, I mean, we should be ready to understand this. That okay, so something in the purport that Prabhupada is saying here. The kissing of the Lord, either by his wives or his young girlfriends who aspire to have the Lord as their fiancé, is not of any mundane, perverted quality. Had such things been mundane, a liberated soul like Shukadeva would not have taken the trouble to relish them, nor would Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have been inclined to participate in those subjects after renouncing worldly life. The stage is earned after many lives of penance. So that is the reason why Prabhupada never spoke about uh, Krishna's dealings with gopis in a very open manner. In none of his public classes, Prabhupada used to talk about these things. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was never used to talk about intimate pastimes with his general devotees. There's only those handpicked devotees like Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Rai, Chiki Mahiti. So they are the ones who were with whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would discuss intimate pastimes. And Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai used to be always with the Lord, especially during his last days of his manifest Leela. So these topics are very exalted, but only one thing that first, before we can even think of understanding or accepting these topics, we should understand first that this is not mundane. This is not mundane. This is transcendental. And in transcendental, there is no difference between the body and the soul. We should understand this. So we should not look at these and start thinking about them from a bodily conception where we are thinking, okay, this is so lowly, or so we should slowly and gradually understand that these things are transcendental. In fact, Parikshit Maharaj subsequently asks Shukadeva Goswami in the 10th canto, saying, what is this Krishna is dancing with other wives of other gopas? Isn't he supposed to have come here to establish dharma, and isn't what he doing adharma? So these questions will be answered in the 10th canto, but that is why not so much is spoken about these topics. But at this point of time, Prabhupada is saying just understand that these things are transcendental. If you cannot understand this, it's okay at this point of time, because hopefully by 10th canto, we'll be purified and we'll be able to understand this. Right? But at this point of time, we should understand it's not mundane. If it was mundane, neither Shukadeva Goswami would have relished to speak about them, nor would Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be inclined to participate in those subject matters. Right? So this is not mundane, it is transcendental. How it is transcendental, what it means, etc., we will possibly slowly understand as we move progress. या वीर्यसुशुल्केन हृतः स्वयंवरे प्रमत्य चैद्यः प्रमुखान् हि शुष्मिणः प्रद्युम्न साम्भाम्बसुतादयो परा याश्चाहृता भौमवधे सहस्रशः. The children of these ladies are Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati were forcibly taken away by him from their Swayamvara ceremonies after he defeated many powerful kings led by Shishupala. And other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Bhaumasura and thousands of his assistants. All of those ladies are glorious. So they're recounting all these, various his family, people whom he devotees whom he married, etc., etc. And all these ladies are glorious. Ladies are thinking, so they're glorifying ladies. We should understand it's just that everybody who is in touch with Krishna are glorious. We're also glorious because we are in touch with Krishna. We are in part of this glorious movement called ISKCON. So we're all glorious. But we should remember that this glory is not achieved by us. This glory is given by just because we are associating with Krishna. We have become glorious. And we should give this opportunity for other people also to come in touch with Krishna. So these pastimes about how we married all these queens, etc. Again, we will discuss those in 10th canto. But in general, Prabhupada says this fighting business, right? This is Kshatriya Swayamvara process wherein inevitably princes have to fight to get the hand of the princess, and this is a Rakshasa style of marriage. It's called Rakshasa style of marriage. So, and everywhere, wherever Krishna used to be present, he used to be victorious. So, specifically, Rukmini, how he nicely, just took her away. Though there are all these various Jarasandha, Shishupala, Rukmini, all of them, they were against. They wanted Shishupala to be married, right? But Rukmini didn't want it. And also Bhaumasura, he had, captured all these various princesses that across the world. He had just, taken them away by force and locked them up in his palaces. And then because all these princesses were touched by a Parapurusha, so they wouldn't have been able to get married at all to anybody else. So as soon as Krishna enters their assembly, each of them individually, all the 16,100 girls were daughters of many kings. They were all just in their mind, they just thought, oh, we should be accepted by Krishna as his wife. And that's all. And Krishna approved of their desire because he knew that nobody else would be able to marry, would be willing to marry them. And so he, because they were humble devotees, they made humble prayers. Krishna accepted them. So Krishna is not so much worried about the mortal dharma which is there for human beings. His primary focus is on actually satisfying devotees. And to do that, he is ready to overrule any of the rules that he himself has created. So all these are glorious. Etapanam strittvamapa tapeshalam nirasta shaucham bata sadhu kurvate yasam grahat pushkaralochanak patir na jat papaitya pritibir vidisprashan. All these women especially glorified their lives despite their being without individuality and without purity. Their husband, the lotus-eyed person of God, had never left them alone at home. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. As soon as the devotees surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord sincerely, the Lord accepts them. And thus the devotees at once become free from all material contaminations. Such devotees are above the three modes of material nature. So this is what we need to do. Prabhupada is saying how all these queens, princesses, they just surrender to Krishna. And as soon as we surrender to Krishna sincerely, been saying this multiple times, sincerity and seriousness. As soon as one devotee surrenders to Krishna sincerely, the Lord accepts him. Lord accepts him and then takes control of his life. And so devotees at once become free from material contaminations. Now, actually, if we fully surrender, then we'll become free from material contamination. But we don't fully surrender. we partially surrender. So then material contaminations continue. Material contaminations means I and mine. I and mine concept will continue. But once we surrender completely to Krishna, then we become completely free from material contaminations. And that is Brahmabhuta. Brahmabhuta means we have crossed the three modes. We are situated in Brahman, above the three modes. We are situated in Brahman means we are situated in transcendental platform, on the transcendental platform. So we cross the three modes. But the important part is to fully surrender. And we discussed this multiple times. Surrender to Krishna means surrender to Guru. Surrender to Guru means following his instructions and making it the goal of our life. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. And that is the secret of perfection. So Prabhupada is also saying, devotees of the Lord are purified souls. There's no bodily disqualification for devotee, just as no qualitative difference between Ganges and filthy rainwater when they're amalgamated. So there's no bodily disqualification. There's nothing like, okay, women, merchants, striyos tata, tiyos, vaishyas tata, shudras, tempi, anti paramkriti. They are not very intelligent, Shastra says. It's very difficult for them to understand the science of God or to be engaged in devotional service. But and then there are more materialistic, and there are all these kirata, hunas, all these different sections of people. But all of them are delivered if they properly engaged in the devotional service. So the fallen girls under the clutches of Bhaumasura sincerely prayed to Lord Krishna for the deliverance. And the sincerity of purpose made them at once pure. The sincerity of purpose is very nice. Sincerity of purpose made them at once by made them at once pure by virtue of devotion. So this is very, very important. Sincerity of purpose. That is why we should not have ulterior motives when we are doing bhakti. And we should just do for the pleasure of Krishna, not for some fame, name, position, respect, money, etc., etc. We should just do simply for the pleasure of Krishna. So one thought always keeps coming to my mind, saying that we should never try to stand in front, right? We also always, material life has taught us to be in the front, be bold, be in front of others, be ahead of others. But actually in spiritual life, we should be behind. The more we are behind, the more it will be easy for us to protect the sincerity of our purpose. Because that, material contamination will not affect us. Oh, I'm standing in front, so I'm important, so I should speak. We qualify ourselves. We think that we are qualified enough to speak. Many times, people come in front of Guru and, they want to just, in their whole talking is just self-glorification. Self-glorification. And I've also done this before. And then I realized saying that, oh, this is nonsense. And why am I doing that? Because I'm going in front of the Guru. Okay, let me not go in front of Guru at all. Let me just be in the background somewhere. Because otherwise we will lose the sincerity of our purpose. Then we want to go there, talk to Guru, and we want to glorify ourselves. It's an offense. Actually, when Guru, Krishna, senior Vaishnavas are there, we should glorify them. We should not glorify ourselves. But this is material contamination. So we end up talking about ourselves. We will not go in front of Guru Maharaj and ask him, saying that what we need to do. What is your instruction for me? We will simply say, I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. I. Actually, interestingly, in Sanskrit as a language, Sanskrit has a So there are two kinds of usages. Like in English, we call it active voice and passive voice. You might have heard of this. Active voice means like I did this is active voice. What is passive voice? The work was done by me. Kartari and Karmani, it is called. So the work was done by me. What is the focus there? So just look at these two sentences. I did this work. The work was done by me. What is the focus in when I say I did this work?
I.
And when we say the work was done by me, then what is the focus?
The work.
So this is the culture of Samskrita. This is the culture that is taught, and this was the culture in previous yugas. That people always used to say this was done by me, because that I has to be at the end. It becomes the object, not the subject. Subject has to be whatever was important, right? Okay, this was done is important. Who did it actually is not important. That's why in Karmani there is also this one where there's no subject, as in there's no doer at all. The work was done. That's all. And Sanskrit as a language encourages usage of Karmani, this passive voice. And so always it's very important that, in order for us to maintain the sincerity of purpose, we always put ourselves at the end. Very, very important. If we are distributing prasadam, we should be the last to take. If anything and everything that we do, we should put ourselves at the end always. And by doing that, we will remain in our constitutional position. I am the servant. I'm the servant of all these devotees. I'm the servant of all these jivas. I'm the servant of Guru. I'm the servant of Vaishnavas. I'm just a servant. But if we go and stand in front, then we'll think I am the master. No, we are not. So sincerity of purpose. See that one word has so much of meaning. Sincerity of purpose. So we should have sincerity of purpose. Why are we doing bhakti? To please Krishna, please Guru and Krishna. Why are we giving class? To please Guru and Krishna. Why are we singing kirtan? To please Guru and Krishna. So it's very important. And yeah, that is why we should read Prabhupada's purports very, very closely, like otherwise it's very difficult to, think about these things. Like if I'm naturally just thinking about this verse, I will not think about sincerity of purpose. But Prabhupada is highlighting. That is the important part, right? Evam vidha gadanti evam vidha gadantinam sagira purayoshitam Nirikshanena Bhinandan Sasmitena Yayau Harihi. While the ladies of the capital Hastinapura were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord, smiling, accepted their good greetings and casting the grace of his glance over them, departed from the city. See, so nicely. Just one sentence about Krishna makes us feel so happy, isn't it? Just put ourselves in the shoes of these ladies of Hastinapura. And then you see, Lord is smiling at us, accepted our good greetings, and cast his glance, grace of his glance over us, and departed from the city. And this what, and we should hope to experience this. We should desire to experience this. Oh, when will that day come? When I can experience this? Lord being in front of me, casting his merciful glance on me. Ajatashatru Pritanam Gopithaya Madhudvishaha Parebhyah Shankita Nehat Prayunkta Chaturanginim. Maharaja Yudhishthira, although no one's enemy, engaged 4 divisions of defense, horse, elephant, chariot, and army to accompany Lord Krishna, the enemy of the Asuras. The Maharaja did this because of the enemy and also out of affection for the Lord. Yeah, who can do anything to Krishna? But it was just affection for the Lord more than anything else. Maharaja Yudhishthira knew well that Krishna is everyone's friend and well-fisher. And yet there were Asuras who were by nature enemies of the Lord. So out of fear of attack from others and out of affection, also he engaged all varieties of defensive forces as bodyguards of Lord Krishna. Bodyguards. If required, Lord Krishna himself was sufficient to defend himself from the attack of others who counted the Lord as their enemy. But still, he accepted all the arrangements made by Maharaj Yudhishthira because he could not disobey the king who was his elder cousin. And there was love between Krishna and Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira had so much love for Krishna. So Krishna would not, definitely accept that love. And that offering of love here is Yudhishthira Maharaj sending an army with Krishna. And then Krishna is saying, okay, Yudhishthira wants to protect me. It's fine. I'll accept that. And if need be, Krishna would himself protect himself and, all those people who are accompanying him to protect him. But Krishna will not say, you know who I am? You know my power? You're undermining my power. It's an insult for me that you're sending all these, divisions of army to protect me. You think I'm so weak? This is our material ego, right? But Krishna is always happy. The only thing he looks at in his devotees is the love. And he's, so many Mayavadi, Nirakaravadi commentators, and they don't take any statement made as it is. They want to take some, and they want to extract some meaning out of it. Like if Yudhishthira Maharaj is doing this, Krishna is not trying to, get to the underlying meaning of what was the intention of this. He's just saying, no, it's love. Simply, he just concludes love. He just wants to protect me. Right? Okay, I will accept it. Many times I've seen, most of us when we are dealing with people, we don't want to accept what people are saying at face value. Of course, this also sometimes required because people are also like that, duplicitous, right? They say something, they mean something else. But simple dealings, especially in a Vaishnava community, should be such that if somebody is saying something, just take it at that face value, right? Oh, okay, that person wants to offer something for me. Okay, fine. Krishna is saying, okay, fine. I'll accept it because he's offering it with love. So we don't have to go trying to find ulterior motives. At the same time, we should also not have such, say something, do something else. Whatever we feel, especially in the association of devotees, right? Of course, material world, people might not be able to digest that being very straightforward. But in the association of devotees, we should be. But in the association of devotees, we should be very, very careful about etiquette. About there are 3 levels of devotees who are newer and whom we can guide. Then there are peers who are with us, and then there are seniors, superiors to us. We should not think that we have friendship. We should not deal in a friendly way with everybody. It's not Vaishnava etiquette. We should be friendly actually only with our peers, and friendly but giving guidance to people who are taking guidance from us. But with devotees who are senior to us, we should always have respect and love. That is why the relationship with Guru is combination of respect and love. Now, how can you have a respect and love? We should have respect first because he is superior to us. He's representative of Krishna, and he's here guiding us, taking us back home, back to God. So we should respect and then love in the sense because he's taking care of us so nicely. I want to reciprocate. I want to do service to him. I want to please him. But it should not be friendly love. Of course, it's also said we should look at Guru as a friend. It's like friend in the sense of well-wisher. But not like this friendly, like, I'll put my hand around, Guru and speak to him. So we should be very careful, right? And Krishna is showing here, right? Saying, let's, he's just looking at love. He's just recognizing the love in the devotee. He's not going to extract some another meaning out of it. And, just we complicate things so much by doing this. I've seen. We just have to take things at face value. Very important. This is simplicity, actually. This is simplicity. Prabhupada says, screwing some meaning out of something is not required. And screwing means like it's there somewhere, like we are trying to pull out something which is like somewhere deep or not even there for that matter. So it's nice. We can also recognize the good qualities in other devotees. Always. It's a very important quality to develop. Always look at good qualities in other devotees. Actually, why only devotees? Other people also. Actually, if we recognize good qualities only in devotees and not with other people, then our fault finding tendency will continue. Then we extend that amongst devotees also. It's better we just recognize good qualities in all jivas. Again, like I said, if somebody is under our guidance, we have to guide them. So we have to take that thankless job of trying to correct them. But yeah, which is why, once my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, so you're saying that, being a Guru is a very difficult task for Vaishnavas, because by nature, they don't want to be fault finding, but they have to, because there is a role that they are playing. So apart from that position, people are who are in that position. Everybody else is most favorable for us to simply always look at positivities in people, good qualities that people have, and not zoom too much into everybody. All of us have bad qualities, not so good qualities. It doesn't help us by blowing up somebody's bad qualities in our mind. Right? And Krishna never does that. Krishna never does that. Krishna is always blowing, zooming into even small good quality one might have. See that Putana, she came with an intention to kill Krishna, but he's not worried about it. He said, she fed me breast milk, so I want to treat her like a nurse. This is magnanimity of Krishna. He's just giving the benefit of doubt. It's okay if she wanted to kill me. How can she anyway kill me? But she, offered me her breast milk. So I will treat her like a nurse. I'll give her that position because she did that service to me. Let her continue to do that service in the spiritual world. And just imagine, Krishna himself is so merciful when we are hearing all this. Just imagine what will be Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami says, Mahavadanyaya. Krishna is only Vadanyaya. Krishna is only merciful. But Krishna has some conditions. Says, surrender to me. Krishna says, you surrender, I will be extreme or super merciful. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, forget about surrender. Just take this holy name. So there is no prerequisite for somebody to start chanting Hare Krishna. That's what it means. But people actually misinterpret this and say that, okay, we don't have to surrender at all if you're chanting Hare Krishna. But naturally, by chanting Hare Krishna, we will end up surrendering if you're chanting it properly. We will end up giving up material propensities. We will give up eye and mind. We will give up sinful activities. We'll give up not following rules and regulations. Everything we will give up automatically if you're properly chanting Hare Krishna. But people say, no, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he says, Thane stita stutikata tanvan manobi. Meaning, whatever position you are in, you can do Hare Krishna, which means I'm not following rules, still I can do. Yeah, you can do, but that's not the ideal situation to be in. By doing that, even in a fallen condition, we have to make progress. And finally, we have to come to a situation where we are completely following all the given rules and regulations. But we should try to imagine the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So yesterday, talking about chanting with some bunch of devotees, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Prabhupada highlights, I also shared on our WhatsApp group some few things. He's saying that simply by chanting the Panchatattva mantra, all our offenses towards the holy name can be eliminated, can be nullified, and we can very easily come to Namabhasa. That is offenseless stage of offenseless chanting. So we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Initially, when I came to Krishna consciousness, I was thinking, oh, so many people are there. Okay, there's Radha Krishna, then there's Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, then there's Narasimhadev, then there are Panchatattva, there's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, then our Acharyas. Oh my God, so many people. Whom should I surrender? What should I do? Where should I go? And finally, I realized that we have to surrender to everybody. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give us that extra mercy that we absolutely need in this Kali Yuga. But and see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he was a guru, he did not ignore the mistakes done by his disciples. Right? Chota Haridas glanced lustfully over a woman, and then he just threw him out of his association. So it's not like, so that is why we have to understand that when we are in those positions, we can't ignore mistakes happening in front of us. Today, unfortunately, most of the dealings in ISKCON have come on this platform saying that if I correct, then it's a Vaishnava aparad. Yeah, if I correct a senior, then it's a Vaishnava aparad. If a senior corrects me, it's not a Vaishnava aparad, it's mercy. And if a senior does not do that, then he is doing disservice to Prabhupada's movement. He's actually doing disservice to his position as a senior. And so this is not required. Unfortunately, today people are very, very hesitant talking about issues that are there in ISKCON. And that's why my Guru Maharaj speaks about it and he becomes a bad person. People don't want to come to him. You say, no, he's just keeps, no, but he's saying, like, if nobody does, how will ISKCON is Prabhupada's property, not our property. We cannot just do whatever we want with ISKCON. So he says somebody needs to speak. Somebody needs to make devotees aware that these things are happening. Otherwise, people will just blindly accept anything and everything and think that this is what we have to do. Like it's happening, how many people speak about pure devotional service? Very hardly many devotees speak. But people are also enamored by various classes. Oh, this is so nice. This Prabhu is so nice. That, but they might not be talking about pure devotional service at all. So we should not simply just close our eyes. Discrimination is absolutely important. So discrimination is important, but that doesn't mean that we go about, picking faults in everybody. That requires a position of a guru to be able to do that. Gurus have to do that. All of us should just follow. And when we are dealing with other people, we don't, look at bad qualities. We try to focus more on good qualities and thereby have, nice relations with other Vaishnavas as appropriate. Like I said, equal to us, being guided by us, and from other devotees, seniors, from whom we have to take guidance. These three devotees have to be separately, differently treated. Narada Muni actually tells, saying that we have to show compassion to those who are being guided by us. We should show friendly relation with the peers, and we should give service. We should offer service to people who are senior to us. Right? We should not mix up these relations. We should not try to show compassion to seniors. We should not try to be friendly with seniors. At the same time, yeah, we can do service to our peers also, which is good because we'll purify. We should do service to our juniors also, but then they might not understand and they, might become difficult. So, and definitely with those who are being guided with us, we can be friendly in that sense, but more important is compassion, because friendly means we might oversee some things. But guiding somebody means we cannot oversee. Everything is important. We have to guide them in the right manner. So compassion is more important attribute than friendship. It's not that we don't have friendship. We will have friendship, but compassion has to be the overriding feature. Okay. Ata duragatan shauri kauravan virahaturan sannivartya tridam snigdhan prayatsva nagarim priyaihi. Out of profound affection for Lord Krishna, the Pandavas, who were of the Kuru dynasty, accompanied him a considerable distance to see him off. They were overwhelmed with the thought of future separation. The Lord, however, persuaded them to return home, and he proceeded towards Dwaraka with his dear companions. See how much of love Pandavas have. They accompanied him. They were walking along with him a considerable distance because they were overwhelmed with the thought of future separation. This is the state we have to reach. This is the state we have to reach. Today we feel separation from material things. We feel separation from our family, from loved ones, from work, money. We feel separation. If Krishna is not giving us money for some time, we feel separation and we become agitated. Only when we give up all these feelings of attachment towards material things, will that attachment to Krishna increase, and then we will get overwhelmed in thought of separation. All our Goswamis used to cry, Krishna, where are you? Radha Rani, where are you? Prabhupada writes, they were not going about saying that I saw Radha, I saw Krishna. Because they were always in separation. Oh, at this point of time, I'm not able to see Radha Krishna. So you have to come to this stage. And that is the reason why we have to do Tivra Bhakti. Otherwise, we will not come to this stage. We will just remain be overwhelmed with the thought of material separation. That's all. We'll be stuck there only. If you want to make progress, we have to do Tivra Bhakti. Kuru Jangala Panchalan Shura Senan Sayamunan Brahma Vartam Kurukshetram Matsyan Sarasvatamata Maruddanvam Matikramya Sauvira Bhirayo Paran Anarthan Bhargavo Pagat Shrantavaho Mana Vibuhu. O Shaunaka, the Lord then proceeded towards Kurujangala, Manchala, Shurasena, land on the bank of the river Yamuna, Brahmavarta, Kurukshetra, Matsya, Saraswata, the province of the desert and the land of scanty water. After crossing these provinces, he gradually reached the Sauvira and Abhira provinces. Then west of these reached Dwarka at last. So just journey is being described, various places. Tatra tatraha tatratyair pratyudyatarhanaha sayam bheje disham paschad gavishto gam gatastada. On his journey through these provinces, he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. So Prabhupada says, the Lord in human society does what is the duty of everyone. But sometimes he does something extraordinary and not to be imitated by the living being. His acts of evening prayer, as stated herein, must be followed by the living being. But it is not possible to follow his mountain lifting or dancing with gopis. One cannot imitate the sun, which can exhaust water even from a filthy place. The most powerful can do something which is all good, but our imitation of such acts will put us into endless difficulty. Therefore, in all actions, the experienced guide, the spiritual master, who is the manifested mercy of the Lord, should always be consulted, and the path of progress will be assured. So no whimsical decision making. See, this is so nice. Prabhupada is saying he is the manifested mercy of the Lord. So when many times devotees are saying that, oh Krishna, I want mercy. Where is this mercy? Mercy is with the Guru. Guru is the mercy. Prabhupada is saying he is the manifested mercy. He is the mercy of Krishna who is manifested here. So we have to consult Guru. I told multiple times this also. Same things again and again we'll keep repeating because these things we have to register in our head. If you're taking important decisions in life, you have to consult Guru. Because he is the mercy and whatever he says is mercy. But unfortunately, many times we are very skeptical or we don't have full faith in Guru. So we think, oh, I want to do this, but what if Guru asks me to do something else? How can I accept? Because we are still trying to misuse our little independence. But if you are having a Guru, that means that it's already time that we gave up our independence. But devotees, even after initiation, they don't want to give up their independence. And Krishna then after initiation says, see, I am here as Guru. Take full advantage, take guidance, seek, and achieve perfection. And then you're saying, no, what will Guru Maharaj think if I go and ask this, or if I do this, if I do that? And we will try to take decisions independently. No, important decisions we have to consult. Decisions which might affect our bhakti should be consulted. It could be that somebody has to go on an on-site assignment for 6 months, and then maybe he or she will not get any association, this, that, and all that. Then we have to consult Guru. And if Guru Maharaj says, no, don't go, it is not good for your bhakti, we should just say, okay. We shouldn't think, no, if I go there, I will earn so much more money. That also we can tell in front of Guru, saying that, see, I'm wanting to go there because I can earn so much money. So, then Guru Maharaj will ask, what is it that you want to do with that money? He says, no, Guru Maharaj, I want to use it for this service. Okay, very good. Or, I want to earn this money so that I can retire in the next 5 years. Okay, very good. If we say 50 years, then Guru will not believe us. I am doing this so that in 50 years I'll retire. No, if I do this in 5-10 years, I can retire. Okay, very good. But it depends on the discretion of the Guru, obviously. I'm just speculating here. But the path of progress will be assured if we consult Guru, because he is the experienced guide. Of course, Prabhupada is using the word guide because people don't understand the purport of Guru, or the heaviness of Guru, or the importance of Guru. So we should not look at Guru as a guide, in the sense he will say, whether I want to follow, I will follow, otherwise I won't. No, not like that. Guru means he says, means we have to follow. There's no question of not following. And then path of progress will be assured. Actually, this is something we can all experience in our life. And how do we understand what is the desire of the Guru? How do we understand what is the desire of the Guru?
If that is to satisfy Krishna in any of the
No,
direction.
Guru, whatever he says will be ultimately meant for satisfaction of Krishna. That is fine. But how do we understand what is the desire of the Guru? Or what is the instruction of the Guru? Anybody? Any answers? It is a very
If they
basic
are
thing.
trying to fulfill their spiritual masters' objectives.
Yeah, see, Guru means he's perfectly situated. He's trying to fulfill his own Guru's objectives. He is practicing pure devotional service. All this is given when we say Guru, at least authorized Guru. But my question very specifically is, how would I know what his desires are, or what his instructions are?
By regularly
Yeah, Raju Prabhu,
hearing his lectures,
by regularly hearing.
Vani Seva. So whatever he is telling, we need to grasp those things, and we need to work out. Okay, my guru is desiring this thing, and we need to work out. And if we work towards those things, I think that will be the uh, answer, Prabhu.
Yes, this is the perfect answer. And that is the reason we tell people, saying that if you don't do Shravanam, if you don't hear from Guru, we have no idea. I know devotees who are initiated but who don't understand the mode of Guru, who don't understand instructions of Guru. And they'll be acting completely not in line with the Guru. They're simply for namesake initiated, that's all. And see, it's not like, okay, I heard this and then can I do everything? No, not everything can be done by everybody, right? And we have to also understand that. But having a sincere desire to follow at least those instructions which are for personal application, sadhana, has to be followed. And of course, see, none of these are blanket. I know so many devotees who have so many difficult, challenging situations. Guru will not be, expecting all this. He's not unreasonable, right? So when we have this, we can go approach the Guru saying that, Guru Maharaj, you told this in the lecture, right? I've heard this, but I'm not able to follow this because of these issues that I have. And then that will be a direct instruction. Then Guru will say, okay, do this, do that, don't worry, that, whatever it is, right? But understanding his heart is from his Vani, not being in front of him. So what is the process of initiation? The process of accepting initiation is hearing. And when we hear from, we can hear from various initiating gurus in ISKCON. But we should hook on to that person whose words are having a change in us. Whose words, by hearing whose words, we feel inspired to do something. We feel inspired to commit ourselves to Krishna. By hearing whom we can feel confident saying that, yes, by this Vaishnava's mercy, guidance, instructions, I can go back to Krishna. And that is a natural feeling that has to arise in the heart, right? And not like today's stupid process that we follow across the board, saying that simply, okay, I am disciple of this Maharaj, so you also become disciple of this Maharaj. Total nonsense. We are just misleading people. Totally misleading people. And I feel so sorry. I know so many devotees who just been so badly affected by this mood. You know, just swartha, some self-centeredness. What is it? We cannot understand. But we should not do that. We should not do that. I'm very, very clear. Wherever I'm preaching, I tell people saying that, see, this is all. Go here. Okay, you are getting inspired by somebody else apart from my guru. I'm happy. Go. Perfect your life. Don't waste your life. We should not waste our life, right? By simply namesake taking initiation and then not hearing from Guru, not wanting to follow his instructions. And we are not going to achieve perfection. What was the use of that initiation? So this is the process. We have to hear. And of course, Prabhupada also said, like, not like you keep going hunting Guru for years. It might happen to some, I know some devotees who just went from hearing from one Guru. He felt, this is the person. Then he heard somebody. Then he said, that is the person. Then so totally confused he was. And eventually, Krishna's mercy, he found somebody who was just what he was looking for, and he got inspired by that. But that inspiration is important, natural inspiration. So we have to hear. Unfortunately, I have a big challenge when it comes to Kannada-speaking devotees because none of these gurus have lectures in local language. Right? Then I tell the devotees saying that go and speak to the disciples of those gurus and hear from them what is the guru expecting. What is it that he expects us to do? Then you decide. And again, there also it should not be sentimental. It should not be sentimental. It should be based on instructions. Oh, my guru is such a great person. Somebody will say. Somebody's guru is also great, but they might not say that. So just because one person said, another person did not say, doesn't mean that this other guru is not great. Everybody is great. That is why Krishna has put them in the position of guru. So we should not go get sidelined by these, some very, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj writes in one book saying that overly enthusiastic disciples of a guru. Overly enthusiastic. They're overly enthusiastic. So they're like glorifying their guru very, and it's nice to glorify. And some might be sober. Some devotees might just be sober, right? They're not like, okay, I say, yeah, he's very good. They might just state as a matter of fact. And then these devotees are thinking, no, see, he was so dull. He was not very enthusiastic at all about his guru. This person was so enthusiastic. That's not a single evaluation, criteria for evaluation. Right? So we should not go by just what we see in front of us, right? We should understand. So yeah, he might be glorifying. Okay, then we should ask a question. Oh, very nice. You're talking so nicely, highly about your guru. I'm very inspired. But can you also tell me a few things that he has told that you have followed and which changed your life drastically? Or what are his instructions? What does he expect from his disciples? How can we achieve perfection? What are his inputs? What are his instructions on those? We should ask these questions. We should not simply just sentimental, oh, so nice, he glorified Guru. Or then we'll also imagine, I'll also one day be glorifying my Guru like this. This is sentimental. This is sentimental. Decision should not be taken sentimentally. It should be based on Vani. It should be based on Vani. Right? So those who are not initiated, kindly hear. Those who are initiated, also kindly hear. And make sure that you try to follow what Guru is saying. And we can then experience the mercy of manifested mercy actually flowing through us. We can experience that. Okay. So with that, I'll close here. If anybody has any questions, comments, please feel free.